He's sworn to uphold the law, but now he's challenging it.
As Action News reporter Sarah Hoxie explains, Tehama County Sheriff Clay Parker has some problems with California's new ammunition law and has now become the lead plaintiff in a civil suit against the state.
Tehama County Sheriff Clay Parker is hoping a new law affecting the Second Amendment will get shot down. He was named the lead plaintiff in a civil suit that opposes Assembly Bill 962. The National Rifle Association filed the suit in June in Fresno Superior Court. The measure requires handgun ammunition buyers to register with the government. Sheriff Parker says the language on the bill is too broad.
What we're doing is asking the Attorney General to define what handgun ammunition is, and until you do that, they want an injunction so this does not go into effect.
The new bill would apply to ammunition that can be used in both rifles and handguns, such as the .22 caliber. Under the law, buyers of handgun ammunition must provide identification and leave thumbprints with registered ammo sellers. It will also restrict online sales, requiring purchases to be picked up at a licensed handgun ammunition store. Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger signed the bill into law last fall. Assemblymember Kevin De Leon is the author. He says, quote, "This measure will help keep our communities safer. It will ensure that gang members and felons don't outright purchase handgun ammunition," end quote. Sheriff Parker disagrees.
My biggest argument is this does nothing whatsoever to take ammunition out of the hands of criminals. All it does is, once this bill is implemented, there's going to be a cost involved. That'll be passed on to the law-abiding citizens, and it does nothing whatsoever to stop crime.
In Tehama County, I'm Sarah Hoxie for Action News.
The new law takes effect February 1st, 2011.
Governor Schwarzenegger is bringing back furloughs for thousands of state workers until California passes a budget. Schwarzenegger released an executive order today that requires state workers to take 3 unpaid days off per month starting next month. Schwarzenegger says he's trying to conserve cash as the state faces a $19 billion deficit.
Former First Lady Nancy Reagan joined Governor Schwarzenegger today for a ceremonial signing of a bill making it Ronald Reagan Day every February 6th in California. The governor and 89-year-old former First Lady walked into the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library where Schwarzenegger ceremoniously signed a pair of bills. The governor says Ronald Reagan Day will allow schools to teach about Reagan and be a day in which Californians can remember his legacy.
This will be a day on which our schools can teach our kids about Ronald Reagan's extraordinary work for this state and for this country that he loved so much. It will be a day also on which all Californians can reflect on and remember with great affection his quick wit and, of course, his charm and his unwavering optimism. And it will also be a day in which generations to come can pause and honor the life and the legacy of California's favorite son, Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan Day is the third special day of recognition in California dedicated to an individual. Conservationists John Muir and Harvey Milk, a gay activist and former San Francisco supervisor who was gunned down in 1978, are the others.
In national news now, more warning signs about the economy. Durable goods like cars and appliances posted their largest drop in 10 months. That comes as the Federal Reserve released a report showing the pace of economic growth is either slowing or holding steady. Brian Moore has the story.
Orders for so-called durable goods like cars and appliances dropped unexpectedly for a second straight month. And that's another bad sign on the road to recovery. The sputtering economy topped President Obama's agenda today as he headed to hard-hit New Jersey to offer help and tax breaks for small businesses.
I'm urging the Senate to approve a jobs bill that will do 2 big things for small businesses: cut taxes and make more loans available. This is as American as apple pie.
The state's Republican governor welcomed the president and any help he might bring, regardless of party politics.
Politically correct approach doesn't work anymore. We have to talk directly about these problems and solve them.
But back in Washington, the partisan fight is heating up as lawmakers sprint toward their summer break.
They want to deflect attention away from the fact that trillions of dollars in government spending and debt has failed.
Republicans accuse Democrats of pursuing a liberal wish list while the economy limps along.
Republicans are still in Alice in Wonderland rather than here in the Senate.
Democrats claim they're only trying to create jobs, but Republicans are standing in the way.
Democrats say they have a plan to create 200,000 new green energy jobs, but it's not clear whether they can get a bill passed before the election. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
Stocks edged lower today as the Fed indicated the slowing economic momentum. The Dow dropped 40 points, the Nasdaq lost 24, the S&P 500 was down nearly 8. Crude oil prices were also down 51 cents a barrel.
An Action News update now. The Corning City Council has voted to extend its temporary ban on medicinal marijuana collectives within city limits. City Manager Steve Kimbrough tells Action News after hearing several brief presentations, including one from Ken Prather, the owner of the Tehama Herbal Collective, the vote was unanimous. The ban has been extended for one additional year. Now, this is the final extension. The move allows the council to wait for results on the November ballot measure dealing with the regulation, control, and taxing of marijuana.
An AmVets program is helping Shasta County veterans get everything they deserve. A nationally accredited veterans advocate is in Reading through tomorrow to help area vets claim benefits they were denied or didn't even know about. Gary Douglas looks over service records and current VA records and says he finds additional benefits on about 80% of cases.
Veterans have been not fairly treated all the way across the board. And it's nothing that the VA has specifically done. What it is there's a lack of education to the veteran, and that's what we're all about at American Veterans.
Douglas will be at the Tobacco and Brew at 2139 Hilltop Drive in Reading tomorrow from 9 to 4. Walk-ins are welcome.
The San Francisco Bay Bridge is getting a $6 billion facelift. Today, workers started installing a 165-foot, 12,000-ton section of a new tower. It is one of 5 pieces that will make up the first section of a 525-foot tower that will really change the city's skyline. Officials say it will take 3 years to complete the entire eastern span, which is designed to withstand earthquakes. Traffic is not being affected by the construction.
A Chico family has returned bundles of boards from the famed Hooker Oak tree to the city. The tree was named for Sir Joseph Hooker, who visited Chico founders in the 1800s. It was more than 220 years old when it was toppled by a storm in 1977. The wood was milled by the late Guy Hall of Cal Oak Lumber. The city got most of it using some things for things like gavels and benches. The rest was sold. Hall also kept some of the wood and used some of it as well. The remainder was returned by Hall's family to a city warehouse this week for safekeeping.
It's grain and marbling in it once you do clean it up in spite of all the difficulties. It is some most incredibly beautiful wood. It's like almost like some exotic granites and woods. It just swirls and the colors are so rich.
The Hooker Oak was once thought to be the largest and oldest white oak in the world, but after it fell, it was determined that it was actually 2 trees that had grown together.
The Exchange Club of Reading is named the best for putting on an outstanding air show. The organization won the National Exchange Club's Outstanding Community Service Award for the 2009 air show. The air show featured the Blue Angels and brought an estimated 36,000 people to the Reading Municipal Airport.
It's just a tremendous honor, and it's a recognition of the amount of work, time, and effort that the 41 community service-minded members of the Exchange Club put into putting on the air show, not to mention the support we get from our sponsors, the city, and the fact that the community is really enthusiastic about the air show.
The 2009 show pumped more than $1 million into the local economy. Now, the next Reading Air Show will be held in 2011. Always a fun time and a great honor for them.
Oh, yeah, especially when the Blue Angels show up.
Exactly.
Up next.